Hi, and welcome to CSM Mistakes Were Made. I need to change out my 96 slot cylinder and put in my 72 slot cylinder. I'll also be swapping out the ribber dials. This is the ribber assembly, and I need to remove this and then put that one on. To change out a cylinder, you need a couple of tools. Of course, a screwdriver is needed. You need a stubby screwdriver of some sort. So for my old set, I need the flathead, but this newer set requires a Phillips, so I've got both right here. These are ribber stops, and this is held in place by a little screw. So we'll take this ribber stop out, and we'll put these in. And these are cylinder screws. And the old ones, they used to be slotted, but I think this one has a Phillips head, so we'll reach up under there with the Phillips head and take those off. I'm going to use my little stubby screwdriver to remove the screw that holds this in. And I set this aside. This is actually specific for the cylinder, so I'm going to put this aside and put it all away in the same box. All right, I need to get this off. So usually you can just get them started and use fingers to undo. There's one, and it's a Phillips. And I believe this is metric. This is a cylinder from NZAC, and I think Jackie uses metric screws. So you can see it's kind of getting wobbly in there. We're taking the second of two screws out. Always have a rag with you because this is dirty business. Here's the second of two. This should come out without any problem, and it does. It often has a nice layer of gunk on it, which it does. And clean it up just a little bit before I put it away. All right. So have a box ready for your cylinder. I use these little boxes. I get them at the dollar store. I think they're 6.5 inches across. All right, everything is out. Here's my new cylinder, my new old cylinder. Isn't it lovely? This is an old cast iron cylinder, and there's just nothing like these. I take note of the two screw holes, and then this piece will hold the ribber knob, ribber adjustment knob. So I kind of fit it in here and kind of use common sense to get them mostly aligned. So I know that screw and that screw will need to sort of line up. These are the beautiful original bolts, the slotted ones that you can, I think you can still order these from Dave Lord in Canada if you have an antique machine like mine. So I just get it finger tight. So the only pitfall you'd have with doing this right now is messing up the right hole from the left hole, and the problem with that is that you need this to be somewhere near this ribber slot adjuster. So in other words, this has to be on the left side of the machine in my case. Got it to work after tipping it a little bit, and I need to swap this out for the flat side. I've only had my cylinder ever loosen up once. There's no need to really over tighten those screws. It holds on nicely. All right, so we have that. Next is a little bit of a trick. That's the screw. It's a little flathead screw, so we'll use this little stubby. Okay, so I start it off inside. I start with this ribber slot adjuster kind of in the, pretty much in the vicinity of the hole. That is right here. That hole right there accepts this little thingamabobber. And I kind of get it started. Usually it takes a couple of times because invariably I drop everything. It's just so awkward. This time I may actually have succeeded in getting that in there. Now, some of these little ribber stops require washers, and some don't. This one, I'm happy to say, doesn't. Important to not tighten this too much. Test out the little knob, the little ribber adjuster knob. You can see it's moving. I actually think I want to tighten it just a little bit more. Not much, but a little bit more. It should touch or nearly touch the inside of the cylinder so that as the fabric goes down, as you crank it, it doesn't get stuck under there. As many people already know, if you're new, you may not know, but it is this very thing that we want the ribber dial to hit against so it doesn't move. That cylinder is set. It's in there. I need to add needles, of course. Let's work now on the changing the ribber dial. Now, the first thing you need to do on this is to undo this little ribber dial post set screw. It's slotted in my case. And keep in mind that if everything is as it should be, the only thing that's holding this whole assembly in three parts, the stem, the tappet, and the ribber, is all held together with just this little screw. So as I untighten it, it all comes apart. That could be a problem if you're doing it over your foot. Keep in mind, that little thing has a very important job. I take this stem out, and we'll need the tappet plate. I've inspected. It's kind of a cool, such a cool thing. We'll set this aside, and we'll put this away. This didn't get too dirty, but I'll put it away and store it, of course, with my 96 slot cylinder. Now we'll put everything back together. Start with the center peg, put it in that, add the tappet plate, and then put it in under the ribber arm assembly. Now, I have in the past made this super tight so that this doesn't want to spin freely. So if you tighten it up with that important set screw there, and then see that it's not moving at all well, undo it, of course. That makes sense. Or maybe not put it so tight in the first place, and then just tap a tiny bit on the top of it while holding it, because again, remember that this little thing does an important job of holding everything together. Now it spins freely, and that is how you change a cylinder and a ribber dial. I hope this helps.